Hola y bienvenidos. Buenas noches. Welcome to Spanish Interactive. This lesson is going to be about articles and adjectives. I wanted to welcome you guys to another lesson here, and thank you for joining me. Hopefully I have some people joining me live tonight. I had some people saying they were going to, but if not, everybody can watch this and catch up. So one thing I'm going to be doing, because everybody here should be trying to learn Spanish to speak it and hear it, understand it, read it. I will be giving directions and instructions, sometimes in Spanish. For the first few lessons, every time I say something in Spanish, I will immediately follow it with the English translation. So what that means is I'm going to start getting you all accustomed to hearing things in Spanish and hearing the pronunciation hopefully done correctly, although I make no promises. So if we want to get started, let me go ahead and share my screen here. And we will get started with the lesson. And if somebody joins, I do have the setting on that you can DVR it, so we should be able to catch up. But if you come on and you can hear me speaking and you can see what's going on, and you have questions, go ahead and yell them out. And if not, you can write them on my Facebook page. So again, welcome, and let's have a good lesson. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about gender and our articles. So our articles in Spanish is artículos. In inglés, se dice the, a, and an. In English, it is said the, a, and an. So anytime you see these words in front, sometimes we're going to be doing these backup lessons on English grammar and English parts of speech, because this is how I learned Spanish so well. So maybe this will also help you improve your English and knowing the different parts of speech. So the first one, as you see, is gender. We generally don't have a way to denote gender in English. So sometimes we're reviewing, sometimes nouns, in Español sustantivos, in Spanish nouns. Nouns is sustantivos. In English, those nouns sometimes refer to men or masculine things, and that's how we know that they're masculine, or sometimes they refer to feminine things, and that's how we know that they're feminine. Otherwise, we don't have a clue because gender is neutral in English for the most part. In Spanish, on the other hand, every single word has a gender. And if the gender rules are kind of like this. So las palabras masculinas, the masculine words, siempre terminan con la letra O. Always end with the letter O. And they will have the article the or an will be el or un. Don't worry, we'll get to it in a second. Las palabras femeninas, feminine words, siempre terminan con a, sion, dad, or tad. So any feminine word will end with either a, sion, dad, or tad. And those articles are la and una. Now I know what you're going to say. What about words that end with e, or what about words that end with a z? Well, those are ones that you're just going to have to memorize. Words like la clase ends with an e, and it's a feminine word. La tarde, la noche. Different words like this, you're just gonna have to memorize whether or not they're masculine or feminine. Luckily, there are fewer words in those groups than there are in the other groups. Some of the other things that you'll see are some nouns can change depending on whether we're talking about a woman or a man. So words like companion, compañero. For a man, it's el compañero. For a woman, it's la compañera. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. And then some words that end in e, they just change the article. Like student is estudiante. A male student is el estudiante. And a female student is la estudiante. So if you see the noun doesn't change, just the article in front changes. Some words, though, that end in e, do change. So el presidente, the president, changes to la presidenta. So again, you just got to kind of practice, and with practice, we'll make perfect. There are also a few exceptions to that rule that I have on there, that words that end in A are feminine. Some words that end in A that come from usually words that end in MA that are Greek in root instead of Latin, usually those will be masculine. So words like el programa, el problema, and el sistema, the program, the problem, and the system, those words happen to be masculine and end in A, but there are some reasons for it. Okay, so just like in English, nouns can either be singular or plural. And in this case, if a noun is masculine and singular, it's el. Masculine and plural, it's los. Feminine and singular would be la, and feminine and plural would be las. And then the plural of un is unos, and the plural of una is unas. Okay, vamos a seguir. Let's continue. El hombre, por ejemplo, the man, for example, in inglés es the man. In English is the man. En español se dice la mujer. In Spanish it is said la mujer. In English it's said the woman. No, wait, let's go back there. So I've said the articles are la and una, or el and un. Get my pointer out here. So this can change to un hombre. It would then mean a man instead of the man. Una mujer would be the woman, or would be a woman instead of the woman. And here we have all of the different forms for those two different words. El hombre, los hombres. Now remember, if you have to go back and check and review the video on pronunciation of the different letters, bonus points to whoever remembers what the pronunciation is for the letter H. Give you a second to remember. That's right, it has no sound at all. So remember, it's el hombre, los hombres, not hombre or hombres. Un hombre and unos hombres. La mujer, las mujeres. Una mujer, unas mujeres. Okay, so here's another point that we should point out right now is when a noun is pluralized. I don't know if that's a word, but when it's made plural, if it ends in a vowel, you just add an S, as you can see on hombre. If it ends in a consonant, you have to add an ES, as you see on mujer. So it's that simple. Vowel, you add S. Consonant, you add ES. Okay, so now we're going to throw another wrench in it. We're going to add an adjective. Now this is when you hear people say, especially people who don't know anything about Spanish, they will say Spanish is backwards. Spanish is not backwards. Some languages are backwards, read right to left, back to front, not Spanish. The word order in Spanish is sometimes different. That's the way I like to say it. Most of the time, the word order even matches English, but when we're talking about adjectives combined with a noun, in English, we would say the good man. We put the adjective in front of the noun. Just as a review, adjectives are words that describe nouns. Okay, so in Spanish, we do that backwards. El hombre bueno. Los hombres buenos. Wait a second. Did everybody see that? Los hombres buenos. The way I like to remember this is the noun rules the day. Whatever the noun is, both the article in front and the adjective behind it have to match. If the noun is masculine, article and adjective have to be masculine. If it's plural, so do the article and so the article and the adjective have to be. And then you can put together a sentence. Se puede formar una frase. You can form a sentence. Los hombres buenos son de México. The good men are from Mexico. Look at that. We're already speaking in sentences. Okay, so here's a list of some adjectives for you. And obviously this is not an exhaustive list. This is just a few of the most common ones. En español se dice adjetivos. It is said in Spanish, adjetivos. That's how you say adjectives. Good es bueno. Bad es malo. Smart es inteligente. Okay, let's stop with those three. If a man is good, es un hombre bueno. If a woman is good, es una mujer buena. Same with malo. Hombre malo, mujer mala. But with inteligente, because it ends in an E, it just stays the same. It has no gender. So, hombre inteligente, mujer inteligente. It doesn't change. If it ends in an E, if an adjective ends in an E, it stays the same regardless of gender. We have to be careful if we're going to use a plural there. So it'd be las mujeres inteligentes. Hope that makes sense. Tall is alto. Short, I have bajo, which is most of the Spanish-speaking word. In Mexico, there's a word that you'll hear a lot, chaparro, chaparrito. You'll hear that, somebody who's short called chaparro. Now notice that's the double R sound. That's the R that everybody should be practicing. Handsome is guapo, and I have guapa, secondary, because things that are feminine can be called handsome sometimes. Pretty. Bonita, because most of the time when we use the word pretty, just like in English, we're referring to something feminine, but bonito does exist. Usually when you're referring to inanimate objects. Ugly, feo, or fea. Grande, or large is grande. Again, hombre grande, mujer grande. That E doesn't change. Small is pequeño, pequeña. Skinny is delgado, or flaco. You'll hear both those. Delgado, I would say, is the equivalent to when you would use the word slender if you're trying to be more politically correct. That's when oftentimes I've heard the word delgado used instead of flaco. Flaco is more, sounds more slang. But for your purposes starting out, it doesn't matter. People are going to understand either way. Fat is gordo. Hard, duro. Soft, blando. Fast, rápido. Slow, despacio or lento. Entonces, yo voy a hablar despacio cuando estoy hablando en español para ustedes. I'm always going to speak slow at first in Spanish for you guys so that you can maybe go back and listen again and try to hear the different words that I'm saying. Okay, vamos a continuar. We're going to continue. Siempre es importante practicar. It is always important to practice. And that's what I want you to do. So as I click through here, I'll see if anybody's live. If I have anybody chatting or anything like that, I can handle questions now. If not, I will go to bed because I'm tired. Voy a dormir. I'm going to sleep. ¿Por qué? Because tengo sueño. I have dream. That's how you say I'm tired in Spanish. So we'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll talk about that a lot. So this has been another episode of Spanish Interactive, the free Spanish resource. Remember to share it with your friends. Share it on Facebook. Make sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch the videos. Share the videos. And I do lessons during the week. If you are interested in that, make sure and contact me directly, either through email, SpanishInteractiveGroups@gmail.com, through my Facebook page, through my YouTube page, anywhere you can comment. I'm trying to get as many people involved and help as many people as I can with this. I've noticed that as I've moved along over the last couple of weeks, that my main focus is probably going to be helping people who are already professionals, already have careers, jobs of some sort, already out of school, that are only available at night. I'm trying to help you guys add a skill that will help you be more marketable and make you better at your job currently, or make you more marketable for a job in the future. So I will click out of this, I hope. See if I can stop sharing. Okay, if you can see me, I can't see you yet. There we go. So I do have one viewer on. Can you hear me? I want to see if I can hear you. I'm still new at this. No, I'm not hearing anything. Let's see. Maybe whoever's viewing is viewing on a cell phone and they don't have a microphone. Let's see if we can launch the chat. Can you hear me? Or can you see the chat? I'm still working out the technical aspect of this. I'm new to YouTube Live and Google Chats. It tells me that I should be able to, by using this particular Google Hangouts format, people should be able to talk. They should be able to chat. At least the first, I haven't been able to figure out exactly, but on the internet it says that the first 10 people in one of these chats should be able to talk back and forth with me, and that's what I've had my fingers crossed. I haven't been able to get that to work 100% just yet. So it does say I have a viewer down there, but I can't, if you're talking to me, I can't hear you, or if I don't see anything coming up in the chat. So thank you for joining me. Make sure and invite your friends next time. The more people we have, the better this will be. Ideally, we'll get to the point where we can interact and people can talk back and forth. Make sure and invite your friends to add me on their Facebook, to join our Facebook group. I also take questions during the week. If you can comment on the Facebook page, that would be awesome. The better this will be better if we can encourage more discussion from more people. Invite your friends who have high school kids who are struggling with Spanish, anybody who wants to improve, people who are beginners, intermediate, advanced. I am here to help as many people as I can in the best way I can. So if there are no questions, then I will say buenas noches, good night. Gracias por acompañarme. Thank you for accompanying me. Espero verlos pronto. I hope that I will see you guys soon. Okay, have a good night. Thanks again.